All right, we are on the last piece of the binary side of this, okay? And so we're going into naming, but it's going to be binary ionic compounds with multiple charges. So there's really three groups in the binaries: the moleculars, the binary ionic with set charges, and the binary ionic with multiple charges. Quickly reviewing again, the phrase binary means two. Okay, so these are all compounds of two things. There's an immediate split. We already talked about the fact that the molecular means the same thing as covalent, and that is a nonmetal to nonmetal, and that ionics are referring to things that are metal to nonmetal. Simple enough, okay? Next up, we go to our ionics, and we've already shown that we have two groupings. We have the set charges. First two rows of the periodic table, +1, +2. Every element has that charge. It's set, no discussion. But then the remainder of the periodic table is called the multiple charge region of the periodic table. If you look at every element in the transitions all the way to the line, all the way to the metalloid line, they all can have a variety of charges. Anywhere from a +1 at the lowest all the way to a +7 at the highest. So we've got a huge discrepancy there. There has to be a method to know how to determine these things, and really it kind of goes back to that buzzword we've been using, which is electronegativity or draws, okay? So, for example, copper chloride could be CuCl or CuCl2. Both of these, copper has two charges. There is copper that has a +1, and there's copper that has a +2. So we would want to figure out which is which. Well, copper we don't know. That's why there's a mystery. But chlorine is one of those charges that's a set charge again. Over in row 17, it's a halogen, and it is always -1. Well, if the chlorine's a -1, and I needed one of those, and the copper is unknown, but I also need one of those, a little bit of algebra, a little bit of problem solving will show you that one -1 would be equal to one +1. But the second one here, the chlorine, once again, chlorine is -1, so I have two -1s for some reason. Now the copper, I only have one. Well, +1 doesn't cut the mustard. So I have to find something that will be strong enough to balance out these charges. Well, copper's other choice is +2. Now, how do we represent these when we would be writing the names? Simple enough, we go copper chloride. I guarantee you, anytime you have binary and you at least write the name, you've at least got partial credit because you're halfway there. The only thing that we do is we want to utilize a system known as the stock system, okay? And the stock system came around from the IUPAC, the International Union of Chemists, and what it says is they tell you to use a Roman numeral to represent a chemical, okay? So I will put a Roman numeral 1 and a Roman numeral 2 here. Now, to help you folks, because sometimes we'll get into some of the dicier ones, of course, I'm not going to make you relearn Roman numerals. They're right here on your sheet, down in the bottom left-hand corner, 1, 2, 3, all the way through 10. Now you can also read a clock. All right? Very good.